Good morning, students. Today we are going to start lesson number 1, that is Introduction to Multimedia. In this chapter we will see the description of multimedia as well as we will see the components of multimedia, and also we will see the element in description. So starting off this chapter, that communication is an integral part of our life. We use various means of communication like radio, newspaper, television, theater, movies, internet and others. All these medium help us gain knowledge or educate us. A single medium of information is just not enough to convey meaningful message to a variety of audience. For example, while talking on telephone to a friend, we can hear his voice but cannot see his facial expression. When you write a letter to the friend about describing him about your trip to Kashmir, only the text can be read. You cannot hear the voice of that person. If you send him a picture along with letter, he can imagine the fun you had during your trip. However, if you send a video clip, he could visualize more about the fun you had. As you can see, the more mediums of information you use, the impact of the communication increase. Multimedia is all about the adding various effects to make communication effective. In this chapter, we will learn about multimedia, basic element of multimedia, and applications of multimedia. Starting of the multimedia, this is the very important point. The term multimedia has been coined from two terms. It is divided into two terms. First one is multiple and another is media. Hence, multimedia means usage of multiple media to communicate. In other words, you can tell also like multimedia is a combination of different media elements like text, audio, graphic, video and animation. The combination of all media elements makes the communication more structured and understandable to the user. Multimedia is nowadays used in every field like education, theater, advertising, fashion, gaming, to name a few. In the next figure, figure number 1.1 shows different components of multimedia. In the next figure, you can see the components of multimedia. This is the basic components of multimedia is text, audio, graphics, animation and video. Computers play a vital role in the development of this media element. A computer capable of handling text, audio, video and animation is sometimes called multimedia computer. Figure number 1.2 shows use of various elements of multimedia. In the next image, there is a mention of various elements of multimedia. Here you can see in the next image, on left top you can see the image of Gujarat tourism. Downside on the left hand side, temple animation is mentioned. Here on the right hand side, text has been mentioned, and here you can see interactive objects has been mentioned. This is the uses of elements of multimedia. Now, what are the elements of multimedia? We define multimedia as combination of various media elements like text, audio, graphic, video and animation. Now we will see each and every element in description. Now you have the element of multimedia is text, audio, graphic, video and animation. Now we will see each and every in description. First of all, text. What is text? Including text in multimedia is the basic step towards development of multimedia presentation. Like, text is used to communicate information to the user. Text is using to communicate information to the user. Proper use of text and word in multimedia presentation will be help to communicate the idea and message to the user. Text can be of any type, like word, single line, or a paragraph. The textual data for multimedia can be developed using a text editor. It will be only developed using text editor. However, to give spatial effect, we need graphic softwares. For that, we can even use word processing software that are OpenOffice Writer or MS Word to create textual data. MS Word, Microsoft Word. The text can be have different type, size, color, and style, whichever is suitable for the professional requirement of the multiple media software. Now, on the right hand side, one thing you can observe in image 1.3. The image 1.3, you can observe the one thing. This is the sample text has been mentioned. You have to observe that in the sample shown in figure 1.3 does not look the same. This is because they have a different typeface, font, and size. In this you can see 3 times Gujarat has been written, but all the times text is different, size is different, and this is not proper. For a typeface is a family of the character or letter which have similar look. Now, it should be a similar look in all the sentences, all the words. For example, Times, Arial, and other typefaces have different style and size known as a font. And styles are italic, bold, and underline, and others. The different styles are 3: italic, bold, and underline, and font type are many, like Times New Roman, Arial, and many more. Size is the distance between the top of the letter to the bottom point. It is expressed in point, for example 12 point, 20 point, and so on. For example, if we have a font of Times New Roman and 14 point, then Times New Roman is style and 14 is the size. And here, like example has been given to you, like suppose you are selecting Times New Roman and 40. So in that case, Times New Roman is your style and 14 point is your size. Moving to the next page, typeface. What is the typeface? Typeface is categorized into serif and sans serif. Serif is a little decoration at the end of the character. Means whatever the character is written at the end of the character, little bit is decorated, like Times, Century, Bookman are some example of serif fonts. Serif fonts are easy to read on a printed page as they guide the eye along the line of the text. So they are usually used when there is a lot of text to be read. On the other hand, as the name suggested, sans serif, sans in French means without. sans means without decoration. So here also is mentioned that sans serif are without decoration, like Arial, Verdana, and Helvetica are some example of sans serif. They are usually used for headlines and titles. But on the computer screen, due to low resolution, serif fonts are difficult to read than the sans serif. In figure number 1.4 shows the sample of typeface. Here you can see this is the sample of serif and this is the sample of sans serif. In the serif you can see at the bottom of the character it is decorated, little bit decorated, and in the sans serif this is plain, means without decorated. This is the sample of your typeface. Text in multimedia is different from the text used in traditional pen and paper method. This is a different in the text in multimedia is different from the text used in traditional pen and paper method. In traditional method, we convey the information using only text, while in multimedia we have other elements and along with the text, and these elements work together to convey meaningful information. Thus, we can say that information is in the form of text, sound, picture, etc. It should be presented to the user in such a way that he is not confused. Thus, the text in multimedia should be short, to the point, and attractive to get the attention of the user. This is the main 3 points of mentioning the text. It should be short, to the point, and attractive to get the attention of the user. Now we will see practically. Assume that we want to make the presentation. So here you have to assume that we want to make the presentation. On presentation you have to write Gujarat tourism. Using which application? Using OpenOffice Impress. First, we need to create a main page with the title. In the title, you have to write Gujarat tourism. We can simply type the text, but to make it more attractive, we can use font work. Here we have to display more attractive. That's why we will use font work. So here the steps has been given in your book, but you can see in the video. Firstly, I am opening the Impress. This is the icon of OpenOffice Impress. I am opening this. Dialog box will begin. In this, nothing changes, just you have to click on the next. Empty presentation you have to create. Click on the next and click on the create. Then you can see here the blank layout will begin of the presentation. Now just here what you have to do, in the first page you have to mention font work, like little bit attractive you have to mention here. For that, at the bottom side, in the bottom down side here, the font work gallery is mentioned. Just you have to click on the font work, whichever you like you can take. Right now I'm taking this and click on the OK. But here you can see we have to display the text, that is Gujarat tourism. Here we have to display our text, that is Gujarat tourism, but here you can see font work has been written. So how you will do the editing? Just you have to double click on that. In the inside you can see font work is written. Just delete that and write Gujarat Gujarat tourism. Just write down the spelling and click on the right hand side. Then you can see the effect Gujarat tourism. You can also increase or decrease this font work. You can keep a bigger for the presentation. in the center. You can do while making the presentation, you can keep in the center, and the back all you can delete it. So here you can see this is the title of your presentation, Gujarat tourism. In the center you can keep. So in your book also steps has been given. You can see in your book, open a blank presentation in OpenOffice Impress. Then after space, all the steps has been mentioned, that in the view toolbar drawing at the bottom side you have to select this type of icon, font work gallery. In that icon, clicking on that icon, this type of dialog box will become. After that you have to edit this. Font work has been written, you have to edit this, and you have to edit through, and you have to keep Gujarat tourism. It's like this. This is the final slide with the text. Same this we have made, just little bit designing is different. You can see here also same thing we have done in same application. Moving to the next element, that is audio. Here our first element is completed. We have seen in the text how we can apply attractive font in presentation. This is, you can see the final slide with the text. Also we have done the practical. Now moving to the next element, that is audio. Description of this, that sound is the most important element of multimedia nowadays. We can define sound as a meaningful speech in any language. Like in any language we can record it and we can send to any person, like in Hindi, Gujarati, English, whatever the language you are knowing, you can record your voice and you can send to the person. The term sound is used in the analog form and digitized form of the sound is called audio. Text and images without any sound are helpful when we are presenting in front of the audience. If you are presenting anything in front of the audience, if you are the speaker, then it is well and good, that it is okay, then sound is off. But in the absence of the presenters, sound plays an important role. If presenters are not there, then sound is playing an important role. Here you can see the best example is given, that when we are viewing an educational CD, the user can enable or disable the sound option. But the learning process is more enjoyable when it is played with sound. Like any CD is playing on, like user can enable as well as disable the sound, but it is always better to keep a sound on, and it is more enjoyable when it is played with sound. To make such a kind of multimedia presentations, we need first record the voice and then after play it accordingly to the animation in the presentation. Thus, when a user sees the presentation, he or she is able to understand it easily by seeing the animation along with the voice. Nowadays, computer supports multiple applications of multimedia. They come along with requirements, hardware and software needed for multimedia application. We can inbuild sound card, speaker, microphone and webcam which are required for multimedia application. Now, these all things are inbuilt nowadays in smart gadget as well as in the computer and laptop. The operating system provides application that can be directed use for capturing audio and video, like whatever the OS are there, like Ubuntu, Windows, they are giving the inbuilt application to directly use capturing audio as well as video. Now let us look an audio recording application provided in Ubuntu, but right now we are using the Windows OS, that's why we will see the Windows OS steps. For the simple steps are there by clicking the Windows key. Just you have to search voice recorder. By the clicking on the voice recorder, the buttons are similar in the both. Right button is used for stop the recording and play button is used for starting the recording. Then after you can save that recording and then you can send to the concerned person, or else if you want to do any editing then you can do it. We can also make the changes to this sound file, like delete a part of it, like in between you can delete it, change the playback speed, change the playback volume, or add the echo, etc. That all thing you can do. Multimedia elements like sound or video are stored in media file. Sound and videos always storing in the media files. To discover the types of media files, we should look at the file extensions. For media files like sound and videos, we will see some file extensions of that. So the commonly used audio format are described in table number 1.1. You have to refer table number 1.1 for the extensions. And here you can see 3 columns has been mentioned. First is of file extension, another is of type of file, and last is of description. First you can see .mid and .midi. MIDI file, type of file is MIDI, that means musical instrument digital interface. This file contains only music data. Another is RM and .ram, that means real audio file, means real audio metadata is combination of audio and video. Another is WAV, means wave file, waveform audio file, that means the description has been mentioned, waveform audio file. Next is .wma, that means Windows Media audio file. Audio file compressed with Windows Media compression. And the last one is .mp3 and .mpga, that means mp3 audio file, like compressed audio format. This is the basic file extension of audio format. All are the extension of the audio format only. .wav is the most popular uncompressed sound format on the internet. On the internet, this extension is the most popular uncompressed sound format, and it is supported by all popular browsers. It is supported by all popular browsers like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Opera Mini, etc. The .mp3 is new compressed format for recorded music. This extension like .mp3, this is new compressed format for recording the music. So if you want to use the recording and recorded music, .mp3 is the best choice for that. So here our audio element is completed. Today we are keeping till here only, text and audio. So in today's session we have seen, firstly we have started lesson number 1, introduction of multimedia. We have seen the introduction, then after we have seen little bit description of multimedia, that multimedia is divided into the 2 terms. First is multiple and another is media. Also we have seen the components of multimedia, like basic components are text, audio, graphics, animation and video. Also we have seen what is the use of element of multimedia. In the multimedia you are aware that there are various media elements are there, that is text, audio, graphic, video and animations. We have discussed the 2 elements today, that is text and another is audio. Text we have discussed. In the text we have seen different typeface. In the typeface is like sans serif and serif, both we have seen, as well as we have seen in the presentation. If required to add font work little bit attractive, then how we can add it up, we have seen also practical that. And also we have seen the audio element, that we can record the audio and we can keep that recording. Also, if there is educational CDs there, at that time you have to keep the sound, you have to enable your sound. And also we have seen the table, that commonly used audio file extension. So till here we are keeping today. From the next period we will move further on. So thank you so much everyone.